But what I really am is a professional networker. That's what I do, backstage. I'm networking with people to find out what the latest news is or who has a cool startup or something like that. And at South by Southwest, I'm starting to see a new trend, a trend of apps and services that help normal people become somebody like me, a professional network. I'm using all sorts of tools to find new people. I was using Highlight at South by Southwest, which is an app that I use to find people. But a Highlight is for like very few people. And Badoo is trying to bring this new kind of social discovery, this new kind of networking to normal people, right?
That's right.
So tell me how this works.
So Badoo is a social network for meeting new people. Our mission is to be the best, easiest, fastest way to meet new people locally and globally. So every day, millions of people use Badoo to interact and meet with people that they otherwise wouldn't meet.
Yeah. And how, because I'm using it, and when I'm walking around with the mobile app, it shows me all sorts of stuff about people. How did it learn about those people? How did it learn that girl is into steak dinners or that guy is into starting tech startups? How did you learn all that?
So this is all user-generated content. When users register for Badoo, they share a profile photo, they share their interests, and their general location. And so what we do here is our goal at Badoo is to bring together a lot of really interesting people and get critical mass and have interesting things happen. Yeah. And so when you use the mobile app and you see that there's hundreds of people nearby, you can see their interests, you can see their similar interests to you, and you can interact with them based upon that.
And how many people are on your system?
So we've announced that we have 150 million users and tens of millions of monthly users.
Wow. Yeah. So that's dramatically more. Like Highlight got a lot of hype at South by Southwest, but it only has, I don't know, 100,000, 200,000 people.
Right, and we have millions of people that use the product every day.
And why are people attracted to Badoo when they're not attracted to some of the other services that are trying to do this? What makes Badoo stand out?
I think it's the fact that we're just an open platform. And it's a couple of things. The first is that we're an open platform, and the second is getting to critical mass. Because if you want to meet people, you want to be in a space where there's lots of interesting people. If there's not enough people, then you're not going to be interested in participating in that particular network. And what we've cracked the nugget on at Badoo is getting to critical mass. So in many of our major markets, France, Italy, Spain, and Brazil, we have hundreds of thousands of users that log on daily in a local metro, which then gives you population density and interaction opportunities.
Yeah. I recently spoke to Stanford Business School about this space, and afterward one person came up to me, a woman, and said, I am really freaked out about this space because I've been stalked. She's been stalked in real life, and she assumes that this kind of technology will enable new kind of stalking. What's your reaction to that?
I think that this general space of social discovery is a new one for us, and users have full control over the information that they share. So if you choose to share the information of your location, you can participate in the network in a different way. You can participate in Badoo, for example, without sharing a location as well.
Yeah. And you don't show any location, because I asked you last night, I'd love to see, how close these people are. Highlight shows me only people who are within about 100 yards of me.
Right.
What do you show me about the location of people? You know that they're somewhere close to you, right?
That's right. So users share their location information with us, but we don't share the specific location. What we share is a general proximity, a general radius, because I think when you talk about meeting people, it's not necessary to know that they are directly down the street. If you can tell them there's a general radius. And I think that that's sufficient, and our users have responded well to that.
And that radius changes depending on what?
It depends upon population density, for example, to make sure that there's a sufficient number of people that you can interact with.
So every time you open the app, there's a lot of people there. That's
right.
One of the knocks against Highlight. That, if you're in Half Moon Bay, for instance, there's me
right.
and one other guy on it, and that's it.
And me.
And you. And if you're in Nevada, there's nobody, right? And so you're actually able to expand the radius to show more people who have the interests of you. Once I find somebody who I'm interested in, and this is. One reason I ignored Badoo for a while was it looked like it was a dating app. And you're not a dating app anymore, are you?
Our goal, as I shared, our mission is to be the best, easiest, fastest way to meet new people locally and globally. And so what that means is that our aspiration is to bring the people together and allow different things to happen. So just like here at LeWeb, we brought together 1,000 interesting technologists. Geraldine and Loic have not specifically said, you must do only X. So there's a variety of things that happen. There's business development deals, there's partnerships, there's recruitment that happens, there's ideas exchange. And so that's the way that we think of our platform. That's our goal and our aspiration.
So once I find somebody that I'm interested in, what can I do with them?
The most natural thing is to chat with them. So we have a very frictionless chat system where when you see somebody that you're interested in chatting with, in meeting, we show you your shared interests. You can click on their profile, click on chat, and then instantly start chatting with them. And it's a real-time response. And the fact is that people are online at the same time as you, and so you can quickly interact with them, and a variety of different things, interesting things happen.
Can I find people who are knowledgeable or interested in just one topic? For instance, last night we were out with a bunch of people, and we're like, hey, let's go to a Thai place. Where should we go? I don't know. You know, and we used a variety of services to look up, and somebody knew the district to go to that had the best Thai food. Can I do that in Badoo? Can I find just the people who know about Thai food in London, for instance?
That is one of our most frequently requested features and something that we're actively working on.
Yeah. How are you going to make money with this? Because you know, it's an early space. I say we're in the Apple One days of this new space. How are you going to make money with this?
So we already make money. We make a lot of money, actually.
How?
So 2 ways. Our app is a free product, and anybody can sign up and interact with other people. The 2 ways that we monetize are, one, we allow users to promote themselves to get more visibility, and the second is we allow users to buy premium features, just basically more power on the site, more enhanced functionality, so a freemium model. And we've previously announced that we do 150 million in gross sales and have been profitable, extremely profitable, for 2 years.
Very cool. Tell me about the mix of mobile versus web. How many people are doing this on a laptop computer sitting at home versus on a tablet PC or on a mobile phone?
Yeah, you know, we don't break out the specifics of each platform, but what I can share with you is mobile is growing at a tremendous rate. It's growing faster than the web. And we think that mobile is the direction of the future. There's around 1 billion or so mobile phones currently in people's hands. Tablets, for example, like Apple said that they sold 67 million to date. And so we think that mobile is the future, and it's something that we're heavily investing in.
So tell me what you can do with mobile and where you're taking this company, because it's really interesting.
You know, when you think about the future of social discovery, if everybody is on a platform like Badoo, and you have a mobile phone with you, you should be able to interact with anybody nearby that has a shared common interest with you or has dissimilar interests as you. And our goal at Badoo is to solve a very basic human need, that of meeting new people. And you know, as we were talking about last night, as children, typically children don't have this barrier of social norms and so on and so forth, where they can't talk to other children. Children just instinctively walk up to other children and say hello and start talking. You know, but some children are more shy than others. This is not generally the rule. But if you look at as we advance through life, one of our biggest problems, if you think about moving to a new city, for example. I just moved to London, so one of the first things you want to do is meet new people. There's no easy platform that enables this to happen. And there's a variety of social norms over time that have been built up. So for example, when we were in the cab yesterday, when we were driving by a group of people, you know, I shared with you that it would be odd for me to get off the cab and say, hello, my name is Ben, good to meet you, because there's social norms there. But if we can create a platform where interaction is open and welcome and easy, it will reduce the friction and more interesting things will happen in the world.
Yeah. Are you thinking about these Google glasses that Sergey Brin's wearing around? And I assume that they're not coming out this year because I know people have worn them. But let's say it's 18 months, 24 months from now that these come out. Are you thinking about that kind of world? Are you even thinking about 2 or 3 years away, or are you just executing on surviving the next 18 months?
You know, we are thinking 2, 3, 5 years ahead, and I think that our opportunity here at Badoo is quite massive. So as I shared, we have 150 million users. We're very, very popular in Western Europe and also Latin America. Our opportunity is to expand to places like the US, the UK, and Asia. And for example, in the US, we've been growing at quite a good clip. In the first 6 months of this year, we've grown 100% year over year, and the US is one of our top 5 markets. And so in terms of our near-term opportunity, it's really to scale the existing business in all of the markets.
Yeah. how do you hook into Facebook? And tell me what you're thinking about how Facebook is going to change over the next year and how you're going to hook into Facebook or not.
Facebook, so we're partners with Facebook. And we use Facebook to allow users to log in and to upload their photos, for example. So we use the Open API. We also enable users to verify their profiles using Facebook. So in the UK, we've been testing a feature that allows users to verify their profiles using a variety of social media, their phones, so on and so forth, because authenticity is really important to our users. Going forward, Facebook obviously is an important platform. We used to be closely involved with Facebook, and we're thinking about creative ways to leverage the graph.
Yeah. One thing that Paul Davison at Highlight told me, he says that social proof is very important. And what he meant by that is when you walk up to somebody, if I know all of your friends, I know a lot about who you are. How do you show off who your friend graph is inside the product?
Right. That's something that we allow consumers to do. So if you want to connect your Facebook profile, you can connect it and then share your Facebook friends. So we allow that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Where should we go with this? What kind of infrastructure do you need, and how has the infrastructure underneath you changed to allow a company like yours that needs this real-time mobile app with millions of clients going at it? What's underneath this? Tell me a little bit about that.
The infrastructure that we have and that we need, we are largely leveraging what exists out there. And so at Badoo, we see hundreds of millions, billions of phones out there. And using location in an intelligent way, from there, we will be able to scale our business. So I know one of the things that we were talking about last night, you were thinking about things like, for example, on the ground and databases on the ground, for example. That's currently not in our plans, but if that existed, we would definitely be leveraging that.
Yeah. Tell me, because if I know who you are and you're walking by, I want to know more about you. I want to see maybe your tweets, your Facebook message. Right. Tell me about how you're going to bring that media to me. And is that useful in this kind of new networking context?
Right. I think it could be very useful, but user choice is important. And so for users to choose to publish that information to others and connect their profiles, for example, that's an option that we would give our users. And so we wouldn't necessarily share that by default, but if a user wants to, for example, link their Facebook profile, link their Twitter profile, and make it visible to others, then certainly we would allow for that, and we would make it available to others to see.
Yeah. Are you thinking of doing any games like, Hot or Not was very popular on the web, where you're rating people, this person's hot, this one's not. Are you thinking of doing any kinds of games like that with people on the mobile phone?
We currently have a feature in our product called Encounters. And it employs somewhat of game mechanics, where we show you people, and if you're interested in meeting them or not interested in meeting them. But generally, in terms of moving on toward other games, we have no current plans to do so.
Yeah. Tell me, because Google is struggling to get into this identity system, what do you need from a Google+? I mean, Bradley was just here on stage talking about a new API. What would get you to work with Google more closely like you have with Facebook?
Well, we already work with Google. You can log in using your Google account. And so, we generally, our goal at Badoo is to be the open platform to meet people. And so if users are using Google+ or Facebook as their identity, or if they are using, for example, an Android phone versus an iOS phone, our goal is to be on all of these platforms and to enable them.
Yeah. The idea that you have a phone and it's on and your app is running is very powerful. Tell me about how you're going to use persistence. Are you going to start allowing video chats or Google Plus Hangouts if that comes to the mobile phone?
That's a frequently requested feature as well, and something that we're actively investigating.
Because that certainly comes into the social discovery. I want to talk. Hey, it's really networking for introverts, isn't it?
I think it's networking for everybody, actually. Even for extroverts, introverts, as long as we lower the friction of interaction, then everybody should be able to benefit.
What's the challenges for this business growing and becoming 100 million people instead of just in the tens of millions?
Right. I think it's ultimately scaling the business in multiple geographies. What makes me optimistic is that we're solving a basic human need. We want to meet new people.